You're the only one that is. Yeah, it's good. Sometimes it's not a problem being the only one. Yeah, I could really delay anyway because my topic today is so small. I don't know how y'all are going to milk it for so much. So y'all better get in gear.
I can hear you well today.
Good. I pushed it all the way up,
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson. I'm telling you, that's what I think of when I put that thing on. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Today, next week, we're going to be doing Mary Magdalene and the Apostles at the Tomb in John 20. I'm supposed to be doing this week John 20, Thomas, just Thomas. And so it's very short verses, so we may end up having to have a study on something else by the time we're done. But that all depends on how much y'all talk and how committed y'all are. So y'all better get it in gear this morning. We're starting in John chapter 20, verse 19 through the end of the chapter. And I'll read it. John chapter 20, verses 19. It says, on the evening of that day, the first day of the week, the doors were being locked where the disciples were for fear of the Jews. Jesus came and stood among them and said to them, peace be with you. Then when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his side. Then the disciples were glad when they saw the Lord. Jesus said to them again, peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, even so I am sending you. And when he had said this, he breathed on them and said to them, receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive the sins of any, they are forgiven them. If you withhold forgiveness from any, it is withheld. Now Thomas, one of the 12, called the twin, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, we have seen the Lord. But he said to them, unless I see in his hands the mark of the nails, and place my finger into the mark of the nails, and place my hand into his side, I will never believe. 8 days later, his disciples were inside again, and Thomas was with them, although the doors were locked. Jesus came and stood among them and said, peace be with you. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here and see my hands, and put out your hand and place it in my side. Do not disbelieve, but believe. Thomas answered him, my Lord and my God. Jesus said to him, have you believed because you have seen me? Bless those who have not seen me and yet have believed. Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. All right. What'd y'all get out of that?
I can tell you something that I got one time from this passage.
Okay.
The teacher emphasized the fact that I think verse 24, Thomas was not there the first time.
Right.
He was there the second time.
Right. Thomas wasn't there the first time. He's there the second time.
He could have been anywhere doing good, but he wasn't with the other apostles. And the teacher was emphasizing the importance of gathering. Don't forsake the assemblies.
Not to forsake the assemblies, because he wasn't with them when that happened.
He wasn't with them when Jesus appeared to them first.
Right. Okay.
And he missed out for a whole week. And
yep. For 8 days he missed out.
He was a doubting Thomas, but I expect the other apostles were also doubting until they saw Jesus among them.
Does anybody have King James Version or New King James Version? What does it say in verse, let's see.
24.
In verse 27.
27.
Yep.
Then saith he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing.
Yeah, faithless.
Faithful.
Yeah.
NIV says doubting.
There's the NIV. I was wondering where everybody knows doubting Thomas, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're accustomed to that term. Doubting actually came from the NIV.
Yeah.
In fact, the King James Version calls it, don't be faithless. And mine says, don't be disbelieving. Is there a difference between faithless, disbelieving, and doubting? Okay, what do you think the difference is? Yeah, how can I doubt something? If I just don't believe it, I just don't believe it. That's not doubting. I just don't believe you. Yeah, if you tell me something and I don't believe you, I don't doubt you. I just don't believe you. There's a whole nother level to that, the not believing and doubting. Go ahead.
So, I don't know exactly where it is in the Bible, but like Jesus did tell all the disciples that he would return after he died. And so I guess to me that's the biggest doubt and those who did it. Like, I guess all the apostles weren't sure that he would return until they physically saw him. But like the fact that he said he would return, and most of them didn't believe that he would return. What is the biggest faithlessness to it?
So you're saying he told them all he was going to return, and you're saying they believed he was going to.
No, I mean, if so maybe some of them did believe, but I bet, like someone said, that several besides Thomas believed that he would not.
Yeah, some of them believed he would not return.
Thomas doubted, and Jesus respected that, but he was faithful. He believed the discipleship, like
Sure. Yeah, he stuck it out.
Doubting just means he's unsure. It's like we had, sometimes, we, like, sometimes well, I'll say when I pray, I ask God to do something, and I believe He will, but I always, sometimes I leave too much of me in there to be 100% sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was this the first time that he appeared? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Was this the first time that he appeared to the disciples? He appeared to a lot of people. Mary Magdalene was the first. But was this the first time that he appeared to the disciples?
Was this the first time he appeared to the disciples?
I can't remember from the standpoint.
Come on, some of you biblical scholars, y'all need to cough this up.
It says on the evening of that first day of the week, then that was the day he resurrected.
Okay.
So it was the day he resurrected, so it'd have to be the first time he appeared to them.
So that, and again, what you pointed out is the first time he appeared, Thomas isn't there. Did he miss out because he didn't get there before they locked the doors?
Yeah.
Was he busy out doing something else?
Yeah, why is Thomas not there?
Yeah.
Thomas was not there because he chose to suffer alone, while the other disciples came together. It could be that he was in such shock and misery. A lot of Christians do that today too. When we get into trouble, heartache, or help, instead of reaching out to be with others to help, that can help them, they suffer alone.
Yeah, talking about Christians choosing to suffer alone. That doesn't happen, does it? I love how everybody starts laughing. Yeah. You me tell you what I get? I get a text and it says, I'm having some problems. Don't tell anybody. It's from a Christian. And I'm going, wait a minute, you're having problems, don't tell anybody. Well, what does that mean? Because there's an issue there, right?
Well, we're talking about how Jesus, the first appearance of Jesus was to the apostles, but it was to the Lord, right?
Oh, he had already appeared to. And look, y'all are going to step all over next week's class. That's what I'm trying not to do. I didn't read all of chapter 20, but yes, he had already appeared to Mary Magdalene in the tomb. Angels had appeared to one of the apostles, maybe Peter, maybe John, but Mary Magdalene had seen him in the tomb. So, but let's,
And went to the disciples.
right, she's the one that went and said, you know, the Savior is risen. Yeah. So, go ahead and say it out loud, y'all. Don't whisper. I was talking about, yes, finally.
I was just gonna say, 2031 has been a favorite of mine forever. Just a reminder that we are humans and we need these proofs to focus on, go back and read over and over to keep our belief intact. But what I did not notice until today when we were reading it is the number, like between verse 25 and 31, 7 verses, the word believe is in there 6 times. Either I won't believe or you need to believe, or that never had struck me until today.
Yeah.
6 times in 7 verses talking about belief. I don't know what to make of that, but it just stuck out to me. You know, we have the book and people still don't believe.
Oh, yeah. Well, Thomas had the word of Jesus Christ. He had the word spoken directly to him. Other people have said it. But Thomas was very adamant. I will not believe. I refuse to believe until I see him and stick my fingers in his side and see the wounds in his hand. I will not believe. And you kind of go, man, that's a little. Go ahead.
I do. I beat up on Thomas,
Sure.
Judas, and any of the apostles who are having these doubts and having these fears, because I think, well, yeah, Jesus rose from the well, they have followed this rabbi around, thinking about, talking about the kingdom being established. They're still confused as to what that kingdom is. They're still thinking, we're going to overthrow the Romans.
Right.
And what they see is their own religious leaders with the power of the Romans behind them kill their leader. Just like any other rebellious leader that would have been around close to that time. And there were others that had started. And it ended this same way, where the leader is killed and the revolution ends at that
Right.
point. It just fizzles out.
Yep.
I'm amazed that they were still meeting together. And yet, you know, because this is only the first time that Jesus appears to them is only, you know, on the cross on Friday, goes into the grave Friday night, Saturday he's dead, Sunday comes, they have all the events at the tomb, and then Sunday evening they're gathered back up. I'm amazed that all of them still were willing to get together.
Safety in numbers.
Yeah. It's like Benjamin Franklin said, if we don't hang together, we shall surely
Hang separate. Yep.
You have this idea of, yeah, they're all not sure what to make of this. They all probably want to hear what Peter and John and Mary have experienced that day to talk about it. The one thing they had going for them, and this was something I just thought of over the weekend, was the Pharisees and Sadducees are so caught up in not working on the Sabbath that on the Sabbath at least they had a day of rest, because probably coming around and rounding up a bunch of followers would have been considered work.
Yep.
So that can't happen. So at least we got one day here.
Yep.
And yet they're all there, and we know that they're not all convinced that everything is going to be okay, because that door is locked for fear.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if they have Jesus with them, what do they have to fear? Well, they're not there. And it's just interesting for me to think about what that would feel like, to see everything that you believed in crucified and killed. This person that you thought, this is the one, this is the Son of God. And the ones who killed him your religious leaders.
Yeah.
It just gut wrenching. So when Thomas has that reaction of, I'm not doing this yet, unless I know for sure.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Well, so here's the funny thing. Do you know where all Thomas is listed in Matthew, Mark, and Luke? Where he's spoken about in those three Gospels? Matthew, Mark, and Luke. It's just in the lists of the apostles. There's no story about Thomas at all. Nothing. There's no words from Thomas. There's no verse that mentions anything Thomas says or does. In Matthew, Mark, and Luke, he's just an apostle and he's in the list. That's all it is. Gets to John, he's mentioned twice. One of them we talked about like 3 weeks ago. Do y'all remember what it was? Something Thomas said. He's on his way to Judea because Lazarus has died. And he says, we're going back. Thomas says something. Do y'all remember what he said? He's going back. You know what? We're going with him. If we die, we die. That's Thomas. That was Thomas. See, Thomas was fully committed. At least his words say that he was fully committed. He's going back, and we're going with him. And if he dies, we die. And we're good. We got his marching orders. He's on his way. Now, here he is. Jesus has died. And now he's adamant that he will not believe until he sees. Is he different? Is he a different person? Or is that the same person?
I wonder if it's because he's seen all these miracles stuff. Raised Lazarus from the dead.
He was there. He was there when Lazarus came back from the dead.
He would want to be sure that he had died. Somebody giving false information or kind of giving doubt.
Yeah. I was fully committed. I was fully committed. And I'm going to be fully committed again, but I got to know. I got to know. This is a funny thing. Do you fully know this? You're a Christian today. Do you know it? Do you believe it with everything? That Jesus rose from the grave? Does it affect you that way? The same way that it affected him? Because he said it once before. He didn't have a full understanding, but he said, Jesus is going. If he's going, I'm going with him. And if he dies, I die. I'm good. There's a commitment there that you don't see with a lot of people. Where death is just an afterthought. I'm going to follow him, and if it leads to death, death it is, whatever. Go ahead.
I've wondered if he was present at the crucifixion. We're not told he was,
No.
but he's familiar with the wounds in the hand and the
Oh,
side.
sure. Yeah.
I guess that was a topic of conversation for those 3 days there amongst the disciples.
Oh, yeah, you wonder what they were talking about.
But I think the reality and the brutality of what he had witnessed or heard of, it turned him aside from his convictions.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah, go ahead.
When he makes that statement before Lazarus is raised, he probably has an idea in his head of how this is going to go.
Yeah.
We're going to walk in here, we're going to meet resistance, and there's going to be a fight, and we're going to die. And that doesn't happen. So getting past that, you might think, okay, we're okay.
Yeah.
And now we're going in through the triumphal entry. Oh.
Yeah.
Now we got something.
Yeah. It is what we thought.
And then it isn't. And all the other things that Jesus goes to the temple, turns over the tables, drives out the money changers. That catches attention. Guess what? Jesus goes back to the temple the next day to preach. And again, with the culmination of the crucifixion, I don't think any of the apostles got like any idea that they had of how
Is it going like you thought it would go? Is your Christian life what you thought it was going to be when you started? So it's not going like you thought it was going to go either, is it? You had a new vision of what you thought it was going to be. Is it that? Has it been? Is it today? I'm asking. It's not a rhetorical question. It really is a question. I mean,
Not through your different stages of life, and takes turns and twists along the way. I brings up the divorce and all. That's just totally different in my life.
like getting punched in the stomach, isn't it?
Yep, but then after a major surgery, I wasn't sure if it was wrong. Promise God, if I could get up and walk, that I would do something that we could see.
Yeah.
That was a challenging thing I've ever done in my life.
Y'all are not sticking a whole lot into this, I can tell you, because it's a little frightening. Go ahead.
Going back to our story, all of the disciples, including the apostles, doubted first. When the third day came, when Jesus said, I would be raised, none of them came to the grave to witness his resurrection. The women came to anoint him with oil and
Right.
spices. They didn't come to witness his resurrection.
Nope.
Even though they were told by Jesus that he would be raised the third day, none of them, all of them doubted.
Yes. Nobody showed, I got to, for everybody so you can hear this, nobody showed up at the grave that day. He had said he was going to rise on the third day. There was nobody there. Nobody there to witness it. You know, you believe this, but you're not standing at the grave. You don't believe it. Because if you believed it, you'd have been standing there. And he said only the women came, and they were just coming to anoint his body with oil and with myrrh and stuff so he wouldn't smell too bad. And the only reason the men came is because Mary went, I'm stepping all over your next class, but because Mary comes back, and so they run there to see. And you kind of go, Thomas is not alone. Thomas is just like everybody else. In fact, yeah, it's going to rain, but you're not carrying an umbrella. You don't believe it's going to rain, because if you believe that, you'd have your umbrella in your hand. I would love to say, well, thank goodness I'm not like them. Let's just all say that together. Thank goodness we're not like them. Wrong. Because,
We all can identify with doubt.
yes. Yeah, Jesus is calling us to something. He's telling us something all through the scriptures, and yet we don't respond by waiting at the tomb. Yes.
Well, in verse 29, he pretty much tells us, I guess, where we get our faith and how we're going to believe in Jesus. And without the story of Thomas, I have verse 29, which basically says, because we aren't like Thomas, and we aren't getting to see him and touching and feeling, we're blessed because we believe without that.
Yes.
So without that story, we don't have verse 29, which the Bible puts everything in place for places. And it doesn't always, we don't have to make up these weird reasons why it's in the Bible or why Jesus put it there.
Yeah.
It's there because it leads us to him and brings us closer. You know, maybe that's why it's in the Bible, not just some
Yeah.
stories we sit here and make up of why it's important and why it's in the Bible. How about because it's the main verse that tells us why we're going to be blessed because we believe.
And because we need it. Yeah, we needed it. We needed to hear it. Yes.
I think for us as modern Christians, we rarely have disbelief in anything that the Bible says. Like, we don't disbelieve that anything that Jesus did happened. So we disbelieve in the day-to-day life that we have, that God and Jesus can't take care of everything we need God or Jesus to take care of. Like, it's like we expect to get a job or something physical to be taken care of. Sometimes we doubt that God will take care of it rather than something spirit. We don't have doubts about the spiritual aspects of your day-to-day life.
Yeah, he's saying we don't doubt the Scripture and that the Spirit worked there, but ultimately that in our lives today, it's different. That our doubt is greater that God is still going to work in our lives today the way he worked in the Scriptures. I wish it wasn't true. I had a big, long conversation. Hey, this is not a political, so please don't take this way. COVID was an interesting thing for me. COVID was very interesting. Still interests me today. The reason is that a lot of churches stopped meeting. A lot of churches just stopped meeting. They didn't meet during COVID because COVID could kill you. You get that, right? COVID can kill you. So can Romans. Romans can kill you. And so the church stopped meeting. And you go, why? Well, it was fear. And the answer is fear of what? What was the fear of? The fear of dying. See, that's the thing is, yeah, and I don't know why Thomas isn't there. I'm kind of like you. I think sometimes Christians, we want to suffer alone. We don't feel drawn to each other to suffer together. Whatever, he isn't there for whatever reason. But a lot of times we choose to remove ourselves. We choose to remove ourselves for fear. Fear is a terrible thing. It's a terrible motivator. It is a motivator, but it is a terrible motivator. They're afraid. Yes.
Well, right now, in these days, if we think it's going to rain or be windy or snow, we can't church.
Yeah, she said if it's going to rain or snow, we cancel church. You know, yeah, God couldn't get us here. I mean, you know, I'm joking. But you kind of do understand we actually have put limitations on what God is capable of doing and what we trust in and what we have hope in. Who has the power in this world? And I don't know. That was just a conversation I had this weekend. It was with one of my kids, which was really interesting. Yes?
Well, it's funny you say it like that, because I drive truck. Sometimes people, James will say something, and it's going to be raining, or, snowing a little bit different. But, I always pray before I leave town, if he keeps me back in one piece. And people say, well, it ain't raining. But I have this, sometimes I tell them, it's just harder for God to take care of me just because it's raining. The answer is no.
No.
He created it. So he's got this, and for us it's a little bit slicker, and you have to watch out for other people. I understand what they say, but I don't think they understand why I pray. And so it's crazy out there on daylight and dry streets, but, it's really hard for God to take care of me just because of fill in the blank.
Yeah.
It's not.
Back in the 60s, I was working for Pet Milk Company in Decatur, Alabama, and I was in line for promotion to office manager. I was having leg problems. I went to the doctor. I had a blood clot from the instep all the way up in the upper part of my leg.
Yeah.
The vein was completely clotted. And he said, you need to go to the hospital. I said, I don't have time to go to the hospital. He said, hey, you got time to die.
Yeah.
Okay, that's put a different perspective.
Yeah.
So I went in the hospital. I was there for 7 weeks till the blood clot completely dissolved. And of course went home, stayed a week, and went to work. Well, I went to my regular desk. And my big boss said, what are you doing sitting there? You're supposed to be in here. This is your office. You're the office manager. Boy, was my, that just, what is it, Romans 8:28?
Yeah.
God has a purpose. And all things work together for good to them that love
yet there was purpose in what was happening with Thomas. I'm that guy that has rose-colored glasses on. I really do. I wear these rose-colored glasses every day. Every day somebody knocks them off my face and chomps them and breaks all the glass in them, but I put them right back on the next morning. And I wonder why I do this. Why do I do this? Because I'm like y'all. Man, I've been punched in the stomach so many times you would not believe it. Y'all ever been punched in the stomach? Anybody ever been punched in the stomach? I got punched in the stomach a bunch when I was a kid. I don't know, I was in a lot of fights. And they punch you in the stomach and your air goes out and you think you're gonna die. Literally, there's this brain thing that goes on inside that says, I'm gonna die, I can't breathe. And you're just sitting on the ground and just, and you can't breathe, you can't get air to go in. It's terrible. Been punched in the stomach like that, physically a few times, but emotionally, psychologically, man, I've been punched in the stomach a bunch. And yet I get up the next morning, put my rose-colored glasses on, take a little sip of oxygen so I can breathe again, and go right back at it again, trusting it's all going to be good today. The Lord's going to provide. He's going to do His thing. The sun's going to rise, and with it the Son of God. He rises. He's alive. He's not dead. You know, they tried to kill Him yesterday, but He's alive today. But it's hard. Go through a divorce. Get a disease. Have a child die. Have a spouse die. What's going on? This is not what was supposed to be, right? This cannot be what God meant to happen. It can't be. What do you think Thomas is doing? He's been gut punched. He got gut punched. He's on the ground, he can't breathe. Doesn't make sense. Why is he dead? And you're telling me he's risen? By jinkies, I want to see his hands. I want to stick my hand in his side. I'm tired of playing this game. I don't want to do it. I want to know. Yep.
Two nurses kind of looked at each other. Doctor had a deer in the headlights, man. I mean, he was looking at the deer in the headlights. And see, God goes, I'm good. You did who the true believers were.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, who in here would have been willing to die for their child? You may tell you something, that's the easy part. That's the easy part. I look at Thomas when he said, we're going with him. He's going to Judea, we're going with him. And if he dies and we die, we die. I can die for my child. Child's out there in the middle of the street, and the only hope is that I run out there and push him out of the way and the car hits me and kills me. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, I got it made. This is not a problem at all. Let me tell you the hard part. It's not dying for somebody. Living for somebody. You want the easy way? You die for him. Die for Christ, that's easy. I don't mean that in a joking way. I mean, that's the easy path. The hard path for us, I got to get up tomorrow and I got to live for him again. I got to live for him today. You got to live for him today. And let me tell you something, that ain't easy. My dad died about 5 years ago. He was going to be into, it was on a Saturday, and that Monday, they had to determine if he was going to go into Alzheimer's unit, memory care, or he was going into the nursing home. He didn't want to go to either one of them. He did not want to go to either one of them. My dad died on Saturday morning. In my mind, he had it made. Still does. He's got it made. I'm a little jealous. I really am a little jealous. This life is hard. Yeah, it's not hard for, yeah. Yep. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I was just going to tell you, he was in a tornado 41 years ago. Broke his back, pulled him out of a bathroom, landed him somewhere in a tree. Were you in a tree?
Landed me about 50 feet away.
Yeah.
And my little dog was about a quarter mile away.
Yeah.
And we both made it.
Yeah. And go ahead. I'll let you. Yeah.
You think about what he went through. I mean, he was ready.
Yes.
Like I am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of this stuff.
Yes.
I'm tired of people picking up rocks and throwing them. I'm
Yeah.
tired of having to sneak out of cities. I'm tired of all of it. And yet he knows if he wakes up tomorrow morning, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. We're all still here because God still has purpose for us. God still has purpose for each one of us. And there are days I'm going, I sure don't know what it is. I'm there, I just don't get it anymore. I don't know what it is you're wanting me to do, but I just want to do that. Today, I just want to do that. And until that time comes, that's Thomas. I look at Thomas and go, Thomas was thinking to himself, I'm better off not being here. That was the reason he was ready to go die. But now he's got to trust in God and he's got to move forward every day of his life. Thomas was a martyr. Thomas was a martyr. I can't remember. Does anybody remember where he died? I remember they jabbed him with spears, I believe. Which I think is... That was it.
There's a monument in India.
He said in India there's a monument to him, and that's where they believe he died. Is that where they believe he died? Was in India?
According to tradition.
Yeah, tradition.
And he did die martyred death.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't have him mixed up with another Thomas.
I think you're right. No, I think that's it. Because I'm not going to go. When I get away from this, I get a little lost. I mean, you can follow a lot of different traditions on stuff. The beautiful thing is that Jesus, the one we follow, he did die. The whole story, the whole point of this was he's risen from the dead. He's risen from the dead. That was the whole point of the story. It's easy to get lost in Thomas. I mean, I relate to Thomas so well. But I get depressed. Anybody else get depressed as a Christian? I hate to say that, church. I mean, good night. You're not supposed to be depressed as a Christian, right? Thank you. Yeah, there's too many people nodding their heads like this, so I'm going, okay, I get it. It's easy to get depressed as a Christian. The world's not fair. Life isn't fair. Things don't happen like we thought they should have.
Sometimes you just do not come close to God. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And it can be a depression. It can be a scared feeling. It can
Yep.
be I don't want to go to sleep at night feeling. I've done that.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't feel close to God, and it's something that I have to talk with Him and get settled with Him. But you're gonna go through points like that. I mean, that's just, and it brings you closer. Each time you learn how to deal with it, it brings you closer and closer.
See, the thing is, bad things are going to happen. There's nobody in here that doesn't know this already. Bad things are going to happen. It's going to feel awful. God said, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. When I get up and put my rose-colored glasses on in the morning, that's what I'm telling myself. He's not going to leave me. He's not going to forsake me. It doesn't matter what I go through today. It doesn't matter what happens. And He knows you're not ready for what's coming. You're not ready for what's coming. The only way you can be ready, trusting in Him. And let go. Just take off and do what you're supposed to do today. My encouragement is, we're all walking a path. Every one of us is. Stay on the path. Remember who you're walking to. He walked the path before. That was the whole point of this. He went to the cross, but the cross was not the end of Him. Death in this life is not the end of Him, and it's not the end of us. We're going on beyond here. The ones who went ahead of us, man, I can read y'all what Paul says. They went on ahead. They've gone ahead, they're waiting. I draw a lot of comfort from that. Hey, in fact, it makes me feel good, it makes me want to laugh sometimes.
The first thing Jesus said on each of these two occasions, peace be with you.
Yeah.
The whole environment there was anything but peace.
Yes.
They were behind locked doors for fear of the Jews.
That's right.
Jesus had been brutally murdered.
Yep. He said, peace be with you twice. That's what Jesus is telling them in a time when there is no peace.
First statement on
Yep.
each occasion.
Yep.
Peace.
Somebody else had their hand up.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, because what you're saying is what we may think, but we don't always work. Because sometimes we think there's a shame in being a human being, and it's not. God created it this way. And sometimes we struggle, like you said at the beginning, struggle, but we get up and do what we're supposed to do every day. I mean, it's as simple as just going to work. I mean, we get up and do that. But again, I appreciate what you're saying, because sometimes we just don't share, we don't confess. We try to do it as we discussed. We want to hang on to it, not let nobody know. But there's strength in numbers. You see that sometimes. I'm not against small groups. Sometimes when you break off into small groups, big thing. Sometimes when all the small groups come together, there's strength in numbers.
Sure.
And you can be more intimate small groups sometimes. But again, the strength comes from being together. So the larger the army, the better the army is. And I think that sometimes we forget. Sometimes when we separated, that Satan at his strong.
Yep.
He sort of he doesn't ever outnumber us, but he gave us that.
Yeah, and one thing I do want to say, he had no problem, Thomas had no problem at all saying, I will not believe until I see it. He had no problem at all saying it. He said it, he didn't back up from it, and he told them, I'm not going to believe till I see it. When Jesus comes back 8 days later, and Thomas is there, he had no problem at all saying, there it is. Stick your hand in my side. Don't be unbelieving, believe. He didn't have a problem with Thomas. He didn't have a problem that Thomas was not going to believe until he saw. In fact, he just showed back up so Thomas could see. Then he tells us, blessed are those who don't ever see. They don't get to see it. But here's the thing. Jesus has no problem at all with your problems. He has no problem at all with your doubts. He has no problem at all with you saying, I'm not going to believe it until you show it to me. Here's the thing. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Carry the umbrella with you. If you're going to say that to God, be ready. Because I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. He's going to slap you upside the head with it. It's going to be obvious. He's going to show you it's true. He will show it to you. He doesn't have a problem with you saying, I'm not going to believe till I see it. But he will show it. A lot of times the problem we've got is, got my eyes closed. Don't have your eyes closed when he shows up. You got to have your eyes open. You got to be willing to look. Because he will bring it right to you and slap you in the face with it. Knock your glasses off, stomp on them a few times. Yes?
Not just for me, but everybody, that I have gone through two situations that possible I wouldn't live, especially emergency surgery, but one in 2015 and one in 2023. And only thing that got me through it was knowing that I believed in Christ, and I did doubt the last time because I kept saying I was going to die. But it was because my husband had died the year before. And then on those other two, that other occasion, and now, he let me live because there must be a purpose. And my purpose in 2015 was to take care of my husband if he passed away. And what this one is, I don't know, just be a better Christian, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I can't do a lot. I try, but I can't do a lot.
Yep. Anybody else? I did a lot of talking today. I didn't mean to.
Speaking to someone and ministering to them, and they were concerned about losing either themselves or someone very close to them. And my father said, in the Word, it says our days are numbered, but we don't number them. And he said, you have no control over what you want for yourself, this person. None of us do. And if you're still here, be affirmed and reassured you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
And I keep remembering that because it's an affirmation. Sometimes it was, or I think how many times I could have died because of things I did or didn't do, and many things I took control from a very young age. And here I am about to be the only one of the family of 12, the only first cousin left, and one that I haven't seen twice in my life. She's obviously far away on my dad's side of mine. And I wonder sometimes why God's still keeping me here, but I remember those words. And that's what, Jesus realizes, he sympathizes in the flesh, and he sympathizes and understands our struggles in the flesh. And you say, God, that he knows we're just dust. He's there for it. And just what you were saying, just go about the next thing in your day. Just give it to God and pour out the hearts to him. And that's what he says. This the devil is drawing near to me. I'm going to draw near to you. You just have to take the time to do that. And he never has left me or forsaken me, and I just get up thinking about how many times he has spared me for so many things. And I'm so thankful. I know I'm still here. Sometimes God doesn't reveal why I'm still here
Yeah.
when things are wrong. But I know there's a reason, and I believe my God.
Yep. Thank you. And it's I still don't know why I'm here. I really don't. There are days I go, well, I don't know why you keep me here. I mean, other people, I get it. I look at other people and I go, wow, you've got a lot to give. I feel like an empty hole a lot of times. Just there's nothing there. It's just pick myself up, put my glasses on, and go through the motions sometimes. I will tell you this too. I've never been a man of great faith. I've told y'all this before. Maybe I have, maybe I hadn't. Not a man of great faith. I always wanted to have great faith, and I never understood how people got faith. Did a lot of study on it when I was younger, and one of the verses that always came to me was it's out of James, and it was something about show me your faith by your Show me your faith without your works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. And I struggle with that. You know, faith without works is dead. You got to do things. And I figured out a long time ago, sometimes it's like building muscles. You know how you build muscles? Well, you think about it. I think I'd like to have big muscles. And that just does it, right? No, you have to go out and you have to lift weights. And if you lift weights, you build muscle. And so you go, well, I want to be a man of great faith. You want me to tell you what it takes? I'll tell you. You have to go out and do works. You may not even understand why you're doing them, and I'm talking about good works, things that you know that the Lord would want you to do. Go out there and get busy. And I'm tired. Are y'all tired? I'm tired, man. It's time to get busy again. Time to go out and get busy. Because if you go out and do the good works, what ends up happening is you start finding faith. You start building the faith muscle. Because what you start seeing is the Lord is doing things. Because I'm doing something small, He's doing something huge. And you start being able to see it. There comes the faith. Thomas, I'm sure, got busy after this. And so for us, Jesus is alive. Time to get busy. I appreciate y'all.